All right, let's continue on in this revelation of Yeshua the Messiah. In the book of Revelation, it's a revelation of Him. Revelation 1:1, the revelation of Yeshua the Messiah which God gave Him. This is a revelation of Him. And we saw how John heard this voice behind him. And then in verse 12, he turned around to see, and he saw one like a son of man, with these 7 golden lampstands, which are the church, the body of Christ. And we saw that a woman shall encompass a man, and that 7 women shall take hold of one man in that day. If you didn't see those things, I can't go over them right now. Look at the previous message. It was glorious. And now we're in the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 17. So John has seen him in all this glory and power. His face is shining like the sun in its full strength. His hair is white as snow. John sees him in this glory, and what happens? Revelation 1:17, and when I saw him, I fell at his feet as a dead man. John, who walked with him, John, who loved him, and he loved John. John saw him in his glory now, and John fell at his feet as a dead man. John collapsed on the spot. If you think you've had a revelation of him, think of that. Our revelation is quite short to what John is seeing here. John's fallen down like a dead man. That's the revelation John had. That's a revelation we may be afraid of a little bit. That might be a lot for us, but this is the revelation that John had. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as a dead man, and he laid his right hand upon me, saying, do not be afraid. I am the first and the last, and the living one. And I was dead, and behold, I'm alive forevermore. And I have the keys of death and Hades. So John sees him, and John falls at his feet as a dead man. And look what he says, do not be afraid, I'm the first and the last, and the living one. And I was dead, and behold, I'm alive forevermore. And I have the keys. And what happened when John, Revelation 19:10, John saw this glorious angel. And look what it said in Revelation 19:10 later when John sees this powerful angel. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said to me, do not do that. I am a fellow servant of yours and your brethren who hold the testimony of Yeshua, worship God. For the testimony of Yeshua is the spirit of prophecy. So John sees this angel. He goes to his feet as we saw with the Lord here, and he says, don't do that. But here he sees the Lord, and the Lord, he does humble himself before the Lord, and we should. And the Lord don't say, don't do that, I'm a fellow servant. No, he says, what did he say? Do not be afraid, I am the first and the last, the living one. And I was dead, and behold, I'm alive forevermore. Verse 19, again he says, remember he said early, write what you see in a book. That angel had told John to do that. And here the Lord is saying to him, write therefore the things which you have seen. That is now this revelation of him. This is that vision he's seen of him. Write therefore the things which you have seen, the things which are cover a bigger time than people think in the book of Revelation. The things which are cover the entire church age. And the church age goes right down to the end of the tribulation, when the last of the saints can be saved. And that will be with those Jews as they turn to Yeshua as their Messiah. Those will be included in the things that are, that we're going to see here, the church age, the things that are. And things which shall take place after these things. That after this, the things after these things is after the church age. Once the church age is over, once he has his bride, once he has his wife, that's what that's referring to. And we're going to see as we go on those things. And also, after these things, it's a thing we have to see and understand as we go through the book of Revelation. Every time, the book of Revelation is not a continuous story. every time John says after these things, he's going to completely change subjects and go into a new subject. It's the same thing in the Gospel of John. He would say after these things, and we'd go on to another subject. Keep that in mind. If you want to understand this book, it's not a continuous story. It picks up one subject after another. And when it picks up a subject, it'll carry that subject through to its end. And John will say, after these things, then you go into a whole new subject. Remember that. Keep that in mind as you try to understand these things. In verse 20, as for the mystery of the 7 stars, which you saw in my right hand, and the 7 golden lampstands, the 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches. These are not angels. These are messengers. Just as it can mean angel, but this is messengers. God is not going to go to each of these messages to the 7 churches and have an angel come to John. John's going to hand him the letter. The angel's going to fly to that city and somehow hand it to somebody. It's the messengers. It's the human messengers. That's what's in his right hand. And the 7 lampstands, as we saw, that's the body of Christ. That's the church. That's the woman that will encompass the man. That's the 7 women will take hold of one man. And this glorious revelation of the Son of the living God. And in the next message we'll start with the messages to the 7 churches. It's congregations. It means in each city the people of God in that city. And we'll go on in this revelation with that as we've seen this glorious revelation of Yeshua the Messiah, and we'll see that it only grows. It's not death and destruction. It's a glorious revelation of Him.